Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ifa Farhana binti Ahmad Hilmi. Today I would like to present about Solas and Stcw conventions, and my group member are Muhammad Ashraf bin Abdul Rahman, Siti Nur Bushra binti Muhammad Razi, and Nur Atira Batrisha binti Afzal Nizam. For RMS Titanic disaster and the development of Solas. RMS Titanic was a British passenger liner operated by the White Star Line at the time of its launch in 1912. Titanic was the largest and most luxurious passenger ship in the world. The vessel was approximately 269 meters long and could carry over 2,200 passengers and crew. It was considered one of the safest ships of its era due to its advanced watertight compartment design. It located at North Atlantic Ocean, approximately 600 km south of Newfoundland, Canada, and the date of the incident is 14 to 15 April 1912. The summary of the disaster is during its maiden voyage from Southampton to New York City, the Titanic struck an iceberg at approximately 11:40 p.m. on 14 April 1912. The collision damaged several watertight compartments, causing the vessel to sink in the early hours of 15 April 1912. More than 1,500 people lost their lives, making it one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Muhammad Ashraf bin Abdul Rahman. I will continue the presentation by discussing the cause of the RMS Titanic disaster. The RMS Titanic disaster was caused by several factors. First, there was human error. The ship continued traveling at high speed despite receiving multiple iceberg warnings. The officer underestimated the danger, and when the iceberg was finally spotted, there was not enough time to avoid a collision. Second, there were technical failures. Without the Titanic had watertight compartment, they could not prevent flooding when several compartments were damaged at once. In addition, the ship did not carry enough lifeboats for everyone on board. Another factor was poor safety management. Safety regulations at the time were outdated, and emergency drills were not conducted effectively. Many passengers and crew members were not fully prepared for an emergency situation. There were also communication failures. Important iceberg warnings were not properly shared among officers, and some radio operators focused more on passenger message than navigational warning. Finally, there were operational weaknesses. The ship maintained at excessive speed in a non-ice field and lacked sufficient emergency preparedness. This factor combined lead to one of the deadliest maritime disaster in history.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Atira Batrisha binti Afzal Nizam. I will continue next slides. Application of Solas convention. First, life-saving applies. Titanic carry lifeboats for only about half of the people on board. Solas now requires sufficient lifeboat and life-saving equipment for every person on board. Regular inspection and maintenance of life-saving appliances are also mandatory. Number 2, communication system. Titanic received several iceberg warnings, but communication failures prevented effective action. Solas requires continuous radio watch and effective distress communication system. Modern ships use advanced communication equipment to improve safety. For number 3, emergency procedures. There were not proper emergency drills for passengers. Many passengers did not know where to go during the evacuations. Solas required emergency plans, safety instructions, and regular abandoned ship drills. And number 4, safety management. Poor risk assessment and excessive speed in an iceberg area contribute to the disaster. Solas promotes safety management system and operational procedures to reduce risk. Master and officers must prioritize safety over commercial pleasure.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nobush from Team Muhammad Razi. So I will continue the presentation. Okay, my part is application of Stcw conditions. Okay, first for regarding crew certification, adult the officer where experience, many crew members, late sufficient emergency management and passenger evacuation skill. Number 2, for in terms of housekeeping duties, the lookout failed to detect the iceberg early enough due to inadequate monitoring and the absence of binoculars. Third, number 3, for emergency training, many crew members were not properly trained to manage a large-scale evacuations, which result in confusion during lifeboat operations. Number 4, concerning safety familiarization, some crew members were unfamiliar with evacuations procedures and the proper use of lifeboat, causing delays during the emergency. Last, for in terms of leadership and teamwork, for communications and coordination among officer and crew lead to inconsistent interactions and a disorganized evacuation process.
For MV Sewell ferry disaster, the background of the incident is the MV Sewell was a South Korean passenger and vehicle ferry operated by Chong Hyo-jin Marine Co. Built in 1994, the vessel was used primarily for transporting passengers and cargo between the South Korean mainland and Jeju Island. So the date was on 16 April 2014 and located off the coast of Jindo Island, South Korea. So the summary of the disaster is the ferry was carrying 476 people, including many high school students on a field trip. So during the voyage, the vessel suddenly listed and capsized. Although rescue operations were launched, 304 passengers and crew lost their lives. The tragedy became one of the South Korea's worst maritime disasters.
For MV Sewell ferry disaster, next I will discuss the causes of the MV Sewell ferry disaster. The MV Sewell disaster was also caused by a combination of factors. First, human error played a major role. The ferry made an improper sharp turn and inexperienced crew members were involved in navigation. Evacuation orders were also delayed, preventing many passengers from escaping in time. Second, there were technical failures. The vessel had been modified to carry more passengers and cargo, which reduced its stability. The ferry also carried insufficient ballast water, making it easier to lose balance. And another important factor was poor safety management. The ferry was overlooked with cargo, and much of it was not properly secured. Second, safety inspection and emergency planning were also inadequate. There were also communication fails. Passengers were instructed to remain in their cabin instead of evacuating immediately. Poor coordination between the crew and rescue authorities further delay rescue effort. Lastly, operational weaknesses such as failure to follow cargo loading regulation and inadequate crew training contribute to the tragedy.
Application of Solas Convention for every civil ferry disaster. First is life-saving applies. Although life-saving equipment was available, evacuation was delayed. Many passengers remained inside the vessel after being instructed to stay in their cabins. Solas emphasized immediate and effective use of life-saving appliances during emergency. For number 2, communication system. Communication between the bride, crew, passenger and resource authorities was ineffective. Confusing announcement delayed evacuation effort. Solas required reliable communication system for emergency situation. For number 3, emergency procedures. Crew member failed to initiate timeline evacuations. Emergency response was poorly coordinated. Solas required clear emergency procedures and regular crew training for passenger evacuations. For number 4, the vessel has been modified, making it less stable. Excess cargo was loaded and improperly secured. Weak safety oversight and poor operational decisions contribute to the accidents. Solas required proper cargo handling, stability management and safety management practice.
Okay, next for application of Stcw convention. First, regarding crew certifications, investigations show the some crew members lack sufficient operational competence and emergency response skills. Number 2, in terms of watchkeeping duties, poor navigational decision and operational errors contributes to the ferry students listing and eventual capsizing. Number 3, third, for concerning emergency trainings, many crew members were unprepared to handle the crisis and fail to initiate timely evacuation procedures. Okay, number 4, for safety familiarizations, the crew did not effectively guide passengers to safety and failed to properly implement emergency plans. Last, for in terms of leadership and teamwork, the captains and senior officer failed to provide clear instructions while poor communications among crew members worsened the emergency situations.
So the importance of Solas and Stcw in maritime safety. For Solas, safety of life at sea. So the International Maritime Organization developed the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, Solas, following the Titanic disaster. Solas established international standards for ship construction and design, life-saving equipment, fire protection system, emergency preparedness, and safety management procedures. Then, for Stcw, Standard of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping, the Stcw Convention ensures that the seafarers are properly trained, certified and competent to perform their duties safely. It focuses on crew competence, emergency response, training, bridge resource management, safety awareness, and watchkeeping standards. Safety lesson learned from both disaster. RMS Titanic. First is every vessel must carry sufficient lifeboats for all persons on board. Second, continuous monitoring of navigational hazard is essential. Third, effective emergency drills must be conducted regularly. Fourth, safety should never be compromised for speed or commercial objective. Fifth, communication system must prioritize safety information. So for MV Sewell, cargo loading limits and stability requirements must be strictly followed. Second, crew members must receive adequate emergency training. Third, passenger evacuation procedures must be clear and immediate. Fourth, strong safety culture and regulatory enforcement and critical. Number 5, effective leadership is essential during emergencies. So for preventive measures for future maritime operations, strict compliance with Solas and Stcw requirements, regular safety audits and inspections of vessel, continuous crew training and emergency drills, improve risk assessment before and during voyage, enhance communication system for navigational and emergency information, proper cargo securing and stability management, use of advanced navigation and monitoring technologies, stronger regulatory oversight by maritime authorities, effective safety management system (SMS) under the International Safety Management Code. Lastly, the development of a proactive safety culture among shipping companies and crew members.
For conclusion, lastly, I will conclude our presentation. The RMF Titanic and MV Sewell disaster show how human error, poor safety management, communication fail, and operational weakness can result in tragic loss of life. The Titanic disaster led to the development of Solas, which improved international maritime safety standard. Meanwhile, the Sewell disaster highlighted the importance of following safety regulation, proper crew training, and effective emergency response. In conclusion, maritime safety depends not only on technology and regulation but also on responsible decision making, strong leadership, and a culture that always prioritize safety. That's all from me. Thank you.